tide pools, collecting shells, and listening to the whispers of the waves. One bright summer morning, while walking along a hidden beach she had discovered, Eloan found a beautiful, iridescent shell half buried in the sand. It was unlike any shell she had ever seen. Its surface shimmered with colors that shifted and changed in the sunlight. Intrigued, Eloan picked up the shell and noticed a delicate inscription on its inner rim: "To unlock the magic, follow the moon's gentle glow." Excited by the mysterious message, Eloan decided to wait until nightfall to see if she could uncover the shell's secret. As dusk settled and the first stars began to twinkle, Eloan returned to the beach. The shell seemed to glow softly in the moonlight, and Eloan felt a sense of anticipation. She held the shell up to the moon, and as she did, a soft, melodic sound filled the air. Suddenly, a hidden cove appeared, illuminated by the moon's gentle light. The cove was lined with sparkling crystals that reflected the moon's glow, casting a magical light across the water. Eloan stepped into the cove and found herself in a place of wonder. The water in the cove was crystal clear, and strange, luminescent creatures danced in the shallows. In the center of the cove stood a grand, ancient door made of coral and adorned with seashells. As Eloan approached the door, a voice echoed from the depths of the cove. It was the voice of the Sea Guardian, a wise and gentle spirit who protected the cove's magic. To enter the Crystal Cove and unlock its secrets, you must prove your heart's true intentions through 3 trials. Each trial will test your kindness, courage, and wisdom. Trial 1, The Lost Starfish. The first trial led Eloan to a sandy part of the cove where a starfish had become trapped among some rocks. The starfish looked weak and needed help to return to the water. Eloan gently freed the starfish from the rocks and placed it back into the sea. As the starfish swam away, it left a trail of sparkling light that illuminated the cove. The Sea Guardian's voice echoed again, praising Eloan's compassion. Trial 2, The Singing Seashells. The second trial brought Eloan to a bed of colorful seashells that were silent and still. The shells were known for their melodious songs, which had been lost. To restore their music, Eloan needed to find the right melody. Eloan remembered the melody she had heard earlier when she held the enchanted shell. She began to hum the tune, and as her voice filled the air, the seashells began to sing in harmony, their melodies creating a beautiful, soothing symphony. The light in the cove grew brighter, and the water sparkled with renewed magic. Trial 3, The Moonlit Puzzle. The final trial led Eloan to a circular stone mosaic on the floor of the cove. The mosaic was a complex puzzle of interlocking shapes and symbols, with a central piece missing. Eloan studied the mosaic carefully and noticed that the missing piece was the iridescent shell she had found earlier. She placed the shell into the center of the mosaic, and as it fit perfectly, the entire mosaic glowed with a radiant light. The door of coral and seashells slowly opened, revealing a hidden chamber. Inside the chamber was a magnificent treasure, a collection of rare and beautiful artifacts from the ocean, including a large, glowing pearl. The Sea Guardian appeared before Eloan, expressing deep gratitude. "You have completed the trials with great kindness, courage, and wisdom," the Sea Guardian said. "As a reward, you may choose one treasure from the chamber to take with you, and you will have the ability to return to the Crystal Cove whenever you wish." Eloan chose the glowing pearl, which held a soft, soothing light. She thanked the Sea Guardian and promised to use the pearl's magic to help others. With a final look at the wondrous cove, Eloan returned to her village, her heart full of joy and wonder. Back in the village, Eloan shared the story of the Crystal Cove and the magic she had discovered. The villagers were amazed and inspired by her adventure. The glowing pearl became a symbol of hope and guidance, reminding everyone of the beauty and magic that lay hidden in the world. From that day on, Eloan continued to explore and cherish the wonders of the sea. She knew that the Crystal Cove and its magic were always just a heartbeat away, waiting to be discovered by those who sought its beauty with a pure heart. And so, the legend of Eloan and the Crystal Cove became a beloved tale in the village, a reminder of the magic that can be found when one follows the moon's gentle glow and listens to the whispers of the waves. Once upon a time, in the vibrant land of Starwood, where the skies glittered with countless stars and the forests were alive with enchantment, there lived a clever young fox named Finn. Starwood was known for its magical beauty, with rivers that sparkled like silver and trees that sang gentle lullabies to the moon. At the heart of this enchanted land was the celestial oak, a magnificent tree that held the power of the stars and was revered by all the creatures of Starwood. Every night, the celestial oak would glow softly, its branches reaching out to touch the starlit sky, and it was said that its light came from the star of Lumina, a brilliant star that had been entrusted to it by the ancient sky spirits. This star kept the land in harmony and filled it with wonder. One fateful night, a shadowy figure named Seraphina, a rogue sorceress with a thirst for power, stole the star of Lumina from the celestial oak. Without its light, the land of Starwood began to lose its magic. The rivers lost their sparkle. The trees fell silent, and the once brilliant night sky became dull and gray. The creatures of Starwood were deeply troubled. They gathered at the celestial oak to seek a solution. Among them was Finn, who was known for his quick wit and bravery. Despite his small size, Finn had a heart full of courage. Seeing the despair of his fellow creatures, he decided to take on the task of recovering the stolen star. The wise old owl, Elder Barnaby, approached Finn and said, "Young Finn, the journey to reclaim the star of Lumina will be fraught with danger. You must travel to the Forbidden Mountain where Seraphina has hidden the star. To succeed, you will need to overcome 3 great challenges: the Labyrinth of Echoes, the River of Shadows, and the Tower of Illusions." With a determined nod, Finn set off on his journey. His first challenge was the Labyrinth of Echoes, a maze of twisting paths and mirror-like walls. The labyrinth was designed to confuse and disorient travelers with endless echoes and false paths. Finn used his sharp senses and memory to navigate through the maze. He noticed that the echoes of his footsteps revealed clues about the correct path. By listening carefully and following the sounds, he made his way to the exit. Beyond the labyrinth, Finn arrived at the River of Shadows. The river was filled with dark, swirling waters and was guarded by shadowy figures that whispered fears and doubts into the minds of those who approached. Finn felt a chill, but he remembered the courage he had mustered before. He summoned his inner strength and used a magical leaf he had found in the labyrinth to part the shadows and reveal a hidden bridge. Crossing the bridge, Finn continued his journey with renewed hope. The final challenge was the Tower of Illusions, a tall, eerie structure that seemed to reach up to the clouds. The tower was filled with illusions that played tricks on the eyes and mind, making it difficult to discern reality from deception. Inside, Finn encountered illusions of his greatest fears and doubts. But he focused on his mission and relied on his bravery. He climbed the tower, facing each illusion with a clear mind and heart. At the top of the tower, Finn found Seraphina in a dark chamber, holding the star of Lumina in her hands. The sorceress was surrounded by dark magic, and the air crackled with her power. Finn knew he had to act quickly. He used his agility and cunning to dodge Seraphina's spells and, with a burst of bravery, snatched the star from her grasp. Seraphina, taken by surprise, tried to use her magic to stop Finn, but the stolen star's power was too strong. The star's light grew brighter, overpowering the dark magic surrounding the sorceress. The chamber was illuminated with a brilliant, warm light, and Seraphina was forced to retreat, vanishing into the shadows. With the Star of Lumina in his possession, Finn hurried back to Starwood. As he approached the celestial oak, the star's light began to restore the land's magic. The river sparkled once more, the trees sang their lullabies. And the night sky regained its brilliance. The creatures of Starwood rejoiced at Finn's return, and the celestial oak glowed with renewed radiance. Elder Barnaby and the other creatures celebrated Finn's bravery and quick thinking. The Star of Lumina was returned to its rightful place, and the land of Starwood was once again a place of wonder and enchantment. Finn was honored with a grand celebration, and his story of bravery was told throughout the land. He was known not only as a clever fox but also as a hero who saved the magic of Starwood. The young fox continued to explore and enjoy the wonders of his home, knowing that even the smallest of creatures could make a big difference. And so, in the heart of Starwood, where magic and wonder thrived, Finn lived happily ever after, his courage and heart shining as brightly as the Star of Lumina. The end. Once upon a time, in a village nestled at the edge of a dense, mystical forest, there lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra had always been enchanted by the forest, with its towering trees and whispering leaves. The villagers, however, spoke of the forest with a mixture of awe and trepidation, for it was said that the forest had a magical quality that could only be understood by those with pure hearts. One bright spring morning, while playing near the forest edge, Lyra found an old, ornate key half buried in the ground. The key was intricately designed, with delicate carvings of stars and vines. Attached to it was a small, faded note: "To unlock the secret of the Forest of Echoes, find the hidden song that lies within its heart. Only then shall you discover the magic it holds." Lyra's curiosity was piqued. Determined to uncover the mystery, she decided to venture into the forest that very evening. As dusk approached and the first stars began to twinkle, Lyra entered the forest with a sense of wonder and excitement. The first challenge: the Whispering Willows. As Lyra walked deeper into the forest, she came across a grove of willow trees whose branches seemed to whisper softly. The whispers formed words and phrases, but Lyra couldn't quite make them out. A soft, ethereal voice spoke from the shadows: "To pass through the whispering willows, you must listen carefully to the melodies of the trees and repeat their song." Lyra closed her eyes and tuned her ears to the gentle rustling of the willow leaves. Slowly, she began to discern a melody hidden within the whispers. The song was delicate and soothing, with a rhythm that seemed to match the heartbeat of the forest. Lyra hummed the melody softly, and as she did, the willows parted to reveal a hidden path leading further into the forest. The second challenge: the glowing glade. Following the path, Lyra arrived at a glade bathed in moonlight. The clearing was filled with luminous flowers that glowed with a soft, otherworldly light. In the center of the glade stood a large, ancient tree with a hollow trunk. Beside the tree was a small, magical creature resembling a cross between a rabbit and a firefly. The creature spoke: "To find the heart of the forest, you must solve the riddle of the glowing flowers. Each flower holds a piece of the secret song." The flowers began to emit a soft, musical chime, and Lyra noticed that each chime was slightly different. The creature presented her with a riddle: "I am light and I am bright, I can dance but never fly. When you seek me in the night, you'll find the answer in the sky." Lyra pondered the riddle and realized the answer was a star. As she spoke the answer aloud, the glowing flowers rearranged themselves into a pattern that revealed a hidden compartment in the tree's hollow trunk. Inside was a small, intricately designed music box. The third challenge: the Echoing Cavern. With the music box in hand, Lyra followed the path until she reached an echoing cavern. The cavern was filled with shimmering crystals that reflected the moonlight, creating an array of dazzling colors. As Lyra entered the cavern, she heard a hauntingly beautiful melody echoing through the chambers. The melody seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. In the center of the cavern was a large, ancient door adorned with symbols and intricate carvings. To unlock the door, Lyra needed to play the melody from the music box. She carefully opened the box and began to play the tune. The cavern filled with the soft, melodic notes, and the echoes harmonized with the music. As the final note played, the door began to glow and slowly creaked open, revealing a hidden chamber. Inside the chamber was a small, enchanted grove with a crystal-clear pond at its center. Floating above the pond was a radiant, glowing orb. The orb was the source of the forest's magic, and it pulsed gently with a warm, inviting light. As Lyra approached the orb, it spoke in a melodious voice: "You have shown bravery, wisdom, and a true heart. The forest's secret song is now yours to understand. With this knowledge, you will carry the magic of the Forest of Echoes with you." The orb dissolved into a cascade of sparkling lights, and the forest seemed to come alive with a vibrant energy. Lyra felt a deep connection to the forest and its magic. She understood that the true secret was not just in finding the heart of the forest, but in embracing its spirit and carrying its magic with her. Returning to her village, Lyra shared her adventure and the magic of the Forest of Echoes with the villagers. They were amazed and inspired by her bravery and the beauty of the forest song. the village celebrated with a grand festival under the stars, honoring the magic of the forest and Lyra's discovery. From that day on, the villagers had a deeper appreciation for the Forest of Echoes. They respected its magic and cherished its secrets. And Lyra, with her newfound understanding, continued to explore the world with a heart full of wonder and a song in her soul. And so, the tale of Lyra and the Forest of Echoes became a beloved story in the village. A reminder of the magic that lies within the heart of nature and the melodies that connect us all. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a young princess named Eloan. She was known for her golden hair, which shimmered like sunlight, and her kind heart, which made her beloved by all. The kingdom of Aurelian, where she lived, was a place of peace and prosperity, protected by an ancient magic that resided in the palace, a magic so powerful that it kept the land in eternal harmony. But this magic came with a rule: it could only be unlocked by the heir to the throne on their 18th birthday, using the Golden Key, a mysterious artifact that had been passed down through generations. Without the key, the kingdom would lose its protection, and chaos would follow. On the eve of Princess Eloan's 18th birthday, when the key was to be handed to her, a terrible thing happened. The key disappeared from its resting place in the palace vault, and with it, the protective magic began to fade. The skies darkened, the winds howled, and the once beautiful fields of Aurelian began to wither. The kingdom's most trusted knights and wise men searched everywhere. But the key was nowhere to be found. Fear spread through the land, for without the key, the kingdom would fall into ruin. Eloan, though deeply saddened by the turn of events, decided she could not sit idly by while her people suffered. She was determined to find the golden key, no matter where it had been taken. Her journey began at the palace gates, where an ancient oak tree stood, its branches twisted like old hands reaching for the sky. Eloan had always felt a strange connection to this tree. As a child, she would sit under its shade and listen to the wind rustling through its leaves, almost as if it were speaking to her. Now, with the kingdom in peril, she approached the tree once again. To her surprise, the tree's bark shimmered as she touched it, and a hidden door opened at its base. Inside was a winding staircase that led deep into the earth. Without hesitation, Eloan entered, her heart racing. The staircase led to a cavern, where a figure cloaked in shadows awaited her. The figure was an old woman, with eyes that gleamed like silver and a voice that echoed softly in the cave. "I have been expecting you, Princess Eloan," the woman said, her voice kind but mysterious. "The golden key was stolen by dark forces, but there is a way to retrieve it. You must face 3 trials, each testing your courage, wisdom, and heart. Only then will you find the key and restore your kingdom." Eloan nodded, determined. "I will do whatever it takes." The old woman smiled and waved her hand, summoning a glowing path that stretched deeper into the cavern. "Follow this path, and your first trial will begin." Eloan took a deep breath and stepped onto the glowing path. It led her to a grand stone door, which opened as she approached. Inside was a room filled with mirrors, hundreds of them, each reflecting different versions of herself. Some mirrors showed her as a queen, powerful and wise. Others showed her as a child, innocent and carefree. But among the reflections, she saw something strange, a version of herself that looked frightened, lost, and unsure. Suddenly, the frightened reflection stepped out of the mirror and stood before her. "You can't do this," the reflection whispered. "You're not strong enough. You're just a girl. The kingdom is too much for you to save." Eloan's heart wavered for a moment. The words stung, and the doubts she had buried deep inside started to rise. But then she remembered the faces of her people, their trust in her, their love. She straightened her shoulders and spoke firmly. "I am strong enough. I may be young, but my heart is full of courage. I will not let fear control me." With those words, the frightened reflection faded away, and the room of mirrors disappeared. The first trial was complete. The path lit up once again, leading Eloan to her second trial. This time, she found herself in a dark forest. The trees were tall and twisted, their branches blocking out the light. At the heart of the forest was a large wolf, its eyes glowing red, pacing in front of a small, trapped bird that chirped helplessly. The wolf growled as Eloan approached. "This bird has been my prey for days," it snarled. "If you want to save it, you must make a choice. Either free the bird and leave me hungry, or walk away and let me feast." Eloan's heart ached at the sight of the tiny bird, but she also knew the wolf needed to survive. She thought for a moment, then remembered her lessons about the balance of nature. She reached into her pack and pulled out some bread and cheese, offering it to the wolf. "Here, take this instead," she said. "Let the bird go free, and this will satisfy your hunger." The wolf sniffed the food and, after a moment, accepted the offering. It released the bird, which flew into the sky with a joyful song. The wolf gave Eloan a grateful look before disappearing into the forest. The second trial was complete. Eloan continued down the path, now glowing brighter. She knew her final trial was near. It led her to a small clearing where a crystal fountain stood, its water glistening in the moonlight. At the fountain's base was a riddle carved into stone: "What is more precious than gold, yet cannot be bought? What grows the more it is shared, but cannot be held?" Eloan thought carefully. The words echoed in her mind, and then she smiled. The answer was clear. "Love," she whispered. As soon as the word left her lips, the crystal fountain glowed brightly, and from the water rose the golden key. Eloan reached out and took it, feeling its warmth in her hands. She had passed the final trial. With the golden key in hand, Eloan returned to the palace. The moment she inserted the key into the ancient lock, the skies cleared, and the kingdom was restored to its former beauty. The protective magic returned, stronger than ever, and the people rejoiced. Eloan was crowned queen that very day, not because of her royal blood, but because she had proven herself worthy through her courage, wisdom, and love for her people. From that day forward, the kingdom of Aurelian flourished under her reign. And the story of the lost princess and the golden key was told for generations. And so, the kingdom lived happily ever after, thanks to the bravery of one young girl who never gave up, even when the path was dark. In a tranquil corner of the world, nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, lay the village of Evergreen. This village was known for its serene beauty and its most enchanting feature, the Whispering Glade. The glade was a mystical forest where trees whispered secrets to those who listened closely and where moonlight danced on leaves, creating a shimmering, magical glow. The guardian of this enchanting place was an elderly woman named Elara. Elara had lived in Evergreen all her life and was known for her wisdom and kindness. Her greatest joy was tending to the Whispering Glade, which had been a source of wonder and comfort for the villagers for generations. One evening, as twilight turned the sky into a canvas of pink and gold, a young girl named Lily arrived at Evergreen. Lily was curious and brave, with a heart full of wonder. She had heard tales of the Whispering Glade and its magical secrets and came to see if the stories were true. The glade's secret Elara welcomed Lily warmly and agreed to take her to the Whispering Glade. As they walked through the forest, Elara explained that the glade was special because it held a powerful secret, one that was protected by a hidden enchantment. This secret was a magical crystal known as the Heart of the Glade. The crystal had the power to grant one true wish, but only to someone who proved their worthiness. When they reached the heart of the glade, a small, clear pool surrounded by ancient trees, Elara pointed out the crystal nestled at the pool's center. It glowed softly, casting a serene light across the glade. The challenge of courage. Elara told Lily that to be worthy of making a wish, she must face 3 challenges that tested her courage, kindness, and wisdom. The first challenge was to retrieve a special leaf from the top of the tallest tree in the glade. Lily looked up at the towering tree, its branches reaching high into the sky. With determination, she began to climb. The tree's branches were thick and gnarled, but Lily's courage and perseverance helped her overcome her fears. She reached the top and carefully plucked the shimmering leaf, which glowed with a soft light. The challenge of kindness next, Elara led Lily to a small clearing where a magical creature called a Lumisprite was trapped in a net of sparkling threads. The Lumisprite was crying softly, and its light was dimming. Ilara explained that the Lumisprite was the guardian of the second challenge, which tested kindness. Lily approached the Lumisprite gently, speaking soothingly. She carefully freed it from the net, using a delicate touch to avoid hurting it. The Lumisprite's light brightened as it felt Lily's compassion. Grateful, it revealed a hidden path through the glade, leading to the final challenge. The challenge of wisdom. The final challenge was to solve a riddle that would reveal the location of the heart of the glade. At the end of the hidden path, Lily found an ancient stone with inscriptions. The riddle read, "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lily thought carefully. The answer came to her as she remembered the stories and games she enjoyed. With a confident smile, she answered, "A joke." The stone shifted, revealing a hidden compartment containing the heart of the glade. The true wish. With the heart of the glade in hand, Lily faced her most important decision. Ilara had told her that the wish must be selfless, made with the purest of intentions. Lily closed her eyes and thought deeply about what her wish should be. She remembered the stories of how the glade had brought joy and comfort to the villagers of Evergreen. She wished for the Whispering Glade to remain a place of magic and wonder for future generations, so that its beauty and secrets could continue to bring happiness to those who visit it. The heart of the glade glowed brightly, and a soft, musical whisper filled the air, spreading across the forest. The trees swayed gently, and the glade's magic was renewed, stronger and more vibrant than ever. A new guardian. Ilara smiled proudly at Lily. The magic of the glade had been restored, and the wish had been fulfilled. Lily's kindness, courage, and wisdom had proven her worthiness. As a reward for her pure heart, Ilara offered Lily a special role as the new guardian of the Whispering Glade. Lily accepted with joy, knowing she would help preserve the magic of the glade and share its wonders with others. Lily became a beloved guardian, guiding visitors through the glade and teaching them the values of courage, kindness, and wisdom. The Whispering Glade continued to shine with magical light, a timeless sanctuary where dreams came alive and the whispers of the forest could be heard. And so, in the village of Evergreen, the Whispering Glade remained a beacon of magic and wonder, thanks to the bravery and selflessness of a young girl who embraced the enchantment of the forest and made a wish that would be remembered forever. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where hills kissed the sky and rivers sang soft lullabies, there was a magical place known as the Moonlit Grove. This grove was famous for its beauty, especially when the full moon cast its silver glow over the ancient trees and shimmering streams. It was said that within the grove, a lost star could be found, a star that held the power to grant one heartfelt wish. In a quaint village at the edge of the Moonlit Grove lived a young girl named Lily. Lily was known for her kindness and curiosity. Her beloved grandmother had told her stories about the lost star and how it could fulfill a wish if it were returned to the night sky. Lily's greatest wish was to help her village, which had been suffering from a severe drought. One clear evening, with the full moon rising high, Lily decided it was time to seek out the lost star. She packed a small satchel with essentials, a lantern, some food, and a warm cloak, and set off towards the grove, her heart filled with hope and determination. As Lily entered the Moonlit Grove, she marveled at its ethereal beauty. The moonlight bathed the grove in a soft, silvery light, and the air was filled with the gentle hum of nocturnal creatures. The trees seemed to whisper secrets, and the ground sparkled with the glow of fireflies. Following a path marked by glowing moonflowers, Lily ventured deeper into the grove. She came across a small, serene pond with water that gleamed like liquid silver. On the far side of the pond, a majestic deer with antlers that shimmered like stardust stood by a stone archway. Lily approached the deer, who looked at her with wise, gentle eyes. "To find the lost star, you must face 3 trials," the deer spoke in a soothing voice. "These trials will test your heart and spirit. Only then will you be worthy of the star's magic." With a nod of determination, Lily accepted the challenge and crossed the pond on a floating lily pad. The first trial awaited her beyond the stone archway, the trial of courage. In the heart of the grove, Lily encountered a dark, dense forest where the shadows danced and the wind whispered unsettling sounds. At the center of this forest was a formidable dragon with scales that sparkled like the night sky. The dragon's fiery breath lit up the dark forest, casting eerie shadows. Despite her fear, Lily stepped forward. She spoke softly to the dragon, explaining her quest and her desire to help her village. The dragon listened carefully, its fierce demeanor softening. Moved by Lily's bravery and sincerity, the dragon offered her a golden scale. "This scale will guide you through the darkness," the dragon said. Lily accepted the gift with gratitude and continued on her journey. The second trial was the trial of wisdom. Lily arrived at a beautiful meadow where an ancient owl perched on a tall, gnarled tree. The owl presented her with a riddle: "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lily thought deeply about the riddle. After a moment of contemplation, she answered, "A joke." The wise owl nodded in approval. And a hidden path appeared, leading Lily to the final trial. The path was illuminated by the golden light of the dragon's scale, guiding her safely through the meadow. The third trial was the trial of compassion. Lily found herself in a peaceful glade where injured and weary animals were resting. They had been affected by the drought just like her village. To pass this trial, Lily needed to heal and comfort them. Using her knowledge of herbs and her gentle touch, Lily tended to the animals' wounds and offered them food and water. She spoke kindly to them, easing their fears and restoring their spirits. As she helped, the glade seemed to come alive with a warm, golden light. With all three trials completed, Lily was guided to a hidden glade at the center of the moonlit grove. There, nestled among soft moss and moonlit flowers, lay the lost star. It was a small, glowing orb with a soft, pulsing light. Lily carefully picked it up, feeling a surge of hope and joy. As she held the star, the grove's magic began to awaken. The trees rustled with excitement, and the animals gathered around her, celebrating her success. Lily knew that the star's magic could now help her village. She made her way back to the village, the star glowing brightly in her hands. As she approached, the drought began to lift, and rain clouds gathered in the sky. The first drops of rain fell, nourishing the parched land. The villagers rejoiced as their fields and gardens began to bloom once more. Lily placed the star in a special place at the village's center, where it continued to shine with a gentle light, a reminder of the magic that had saved them. Lily's bravery and compassion were celebrated, and the village thrived with renewed hope and prosperity. The moonlit grove remained a place of wonder and magic, and Lily often visited it, grateful for the lessons learned and the adventures experienced. From that day on, the lost star became a symbol of hope and the power of kindness. And Lily lived happily ever after, always cherishing the memories of her journey through the moonlit grove and the magic it had brought to her village. The end. Once upon a time, in a lush, green valley surrounded by majestic mountains, there stood an ancient tree known as the Whispering Willow. It was said that the tree held the secrets of the world within its rustling leaves and that those who listened carefully could hear its ancient wisdom. In a small village nestled near the base of the mountains lived a young boy named Leo. Leo was known for his curious nature and kind heart. He often spent his days exploring the forest and helping his neighbors with various tasks. Despite his busy life, he always felt drawn to the Whispering Willow, often spending hours sitting under its sprawling branches, listening to its gentle whispers. One day, as Leo rested beneath the tree, he heard something unusual, a soft, almost melodic whisper that seemed different from the usual rustling. The voice was faint but clear, and it spoke of a hidden kingdom that lay beyond the mountains, shrouded in mist and magic. The kingdom, according to the whisper, was in grave danger and needed someone with a pure heart to save it. Intrigued and determined, Leo decided to embark on a journey to find this hidden kingdom and uncover the truth behind the mysterious message. He packed a small satchel with essentials, a loaf of bread, a flask of water, and a compass, then set off towards the mountains, guided by the Whispering Willow's cryptic hints. The journey was arduous. Leo traversed through dense forests, climbed steep rocky paths, and crossed turbulent streams. But he never lost hope, spurred on by the whispers that seemed to guide him. After several days of travel, he finally reached a hidden valley that was veiled in a thick, shimmering mist. As Leo ventured into the mist, it parted to reveal a breathtaking sight, a magnificent kingdom with golden spires and shimmering gardens, all illuminated by a soft, otherworldly light. It was as though he had stepped into a realm from a dream. However, the kingdom was eerily silent, and the air was heavy with an unspoken sadness. Leo wandered through the streets and discovered that the kingdom was indeed in peril. The once vibrant city was now still and lifeless. The magical creatures that once roamed freely were nowhere to be seen, and the gardens were wilting. At the heart of the kingdom stood a grand palace, its towering spires reaching towards the sky. Leo approached the palace, hoping to find answers. Inside, he encountered the kingdom's guardian, a majestic, wise dragon named Elder, who had fallen into a deep, enchanted slumber. Elder awoke when Leo gently touched the dragon's scales. With a soft, groggy voice, Elder explained that the kingdom had been cursed by a malevolent sorceress who was envious of the kingdom's magic and prosperity. The curse had put the kingdom to sleep, and only a special kind of magic could lift it. The only way to break the curse, Elder said, is to find the heart of the kingdom, a magical gem hidden somewhere within the palace. The gem has the power to restore life and magic to our realm. Leo, determined to help, began searching the palace. He explored its grand halls, examined ancient tapestries, and solved riddles inscribed on the walls. His perseverance paid off when he discovered a hidden door behind a magnificent tapestry. Behind the door lay a chamber bathed in a soft, golden light. In the center of the chamber, on a pedestal, rested the heart of the kingdom, a gem that sparkled with a mesmerizing brilliance. As Leo approached the gem, he noticed that it was encased in a complex puzzle that seemed to require a special touch to unlock. Remembering the whispers of the Whispering Willow, Leo played a melody on his flute, a gift from his village, hoping to use the power of music to solve the puzzle. The melody resonated with the gem, causing it to glow warmly. The puzzle unlocked, and Leo gently took the heart of the kingdom into his hands. As he held the gem, a warm, soothing light spread throughout the palace and the kingdom. The once dying gardens bloomed anew, and the magical creatures began to stir from their slumber. The kingdom awoke with joy and celebration. Elder and the kingdom's inhabitants were overjoyed and grateful. They celebrated Leo's bravery and kindness with a grand feast and showered him with gifts and thanks. As a token of their appreciation, they gifted Leo a small crystal vial containing a drop of the heart's magic, promising that it would always guide him back to their realm whenever he needed. With a heart full of joy and a newfound sense of purpose, Leo bid farewell to the hidden kingdom and returned to his village. The Whispering Willow greeted him with a gentle rustling, as if acknowledging his bravery. The tale of Leo's adventure became a beloved legend in his village, reminding everyone of the power of courage, kindness, and the magic that exists in the world. And every time Leo played his flute beneath the Whispering Willow, its melodies carried the echoes of the hidden kingdom and its eternal gratitude. Once upon a time, in a bustling kingdom surrounded by rolling hills and sparkling rivers, there lay a quaint village called Bramblewood. This village was known for its lively markets, charming cottages, and a sprawling forest that bordered its edges. The forest was both enchanting and mysterious, filled with ancient trees and whispering winds, and at its heart was an old, forgotten castle. In this village lived a young and spirited boy named Finn. Finn was known for his boundless curiosity and adventurous spirit. He had often heard stories about the castle deep within the forest, stories of hidden treasures and magic. Though many villagers spoke of the castle with awe and caution, Finn felt a strong pull towards its mysteries. One chilly autumn morning, as the leaves rustled with a crisp breeze, Finn decided it was time to uncover the secrets of the old castle. He packed a small satchel with essentials, some bread, cheese, a warm cloak, and his trusty pocket knife, and set off towards the forest. The forest was dense and filled with sounds that seemed both familiar and foreign. Finn followed a winding path, guided by the dappled sunlight that filtered through the trees. After hours of walking, he reached the castle. It was a grand structure, though it had fallen into disrepair. Ivy clung to its walls, and the towers rose high into the sky like silent sentinels. As Finn approached, he noticed a strange glimmer among the underbrush near the castle gate. Digging carefully, he unearthed a small, ornate silver key. It was beautifully crafted, with delicate engravings of stars and moons. Excited by his find, Finn wondered what the key might unlock. With the key in hand, Finn approached the castle's heavy wooden doors. To his surprise, they creaked open easily. Inside, the castle was filled with cobwebs and dust, but there was a sense of grandeur that lingered. Finn explored the great hall, where faded tapestries and broken chandeliers told tales of a bygone era. As he wandered through the castle, Finn discovered a grand staircase leading to the upper floors. The key felt warm in his pocket as he ascended. At the top of the stairs, he found a door that seemed different from the others. It was smaller, intricately carved, and had a keyhole that matched the silver key perfectly. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, Finn inserted the key into the lock and turned it. The door swung open to reveal a hidden room bathed in a soft, golden light. Inside, the room was filled with shelves of ancient books, scrolls, and magical artifacts. At the center of the room stood a pedestal with a large, ornate chest. Finn approached the chest and carefully opened it. Inside, he found a beautiful crystal orb, its surface shimmering with a rainbow of colors. As he lifted the orb, a gentle voice filled the room. "Greetings, young seeker," the voice said. "I am Elora, the spirit guardian of this castle. You have found the Orb of Enlightenment, a powerful artifact that holds the wisdom and magic of ages past. It was hidden away to protect it from those who might misuse its power." Finn was astonished. "What should I do with it?" he asked. "The orb has chosen you," Elora continued. "You possess a heart full of curiosity and courage. Use the orb's magic to bring light and knowledge to your village. It will reveal hidden truths and help those in need, but remember, its power is strongest when used with kindness and wisdom." Finn nodded solemnly. "I will use it to help my village." With the orb safely in his possession, Finn made his way back to Bramblewood. As he arrived, he found that the villagers had been worried about him. He shared the story of the castle and the orb, and the villagers gathered to hear about his adventure. Using the orb's magic, Finn helped the villagers in many ways. The orb revealed hidden resources that could be used for farming and construction. It provided insights into solving problems that had long troubled the village. Under Finn's guidance, Bramblewood flourished like never before. The castle, once a forgotten relic, became a place of learning and discovery. The villagers, inspired by Finn's bravery in the orb's magic, took to exploring and understanding the world around them. They grew closer as a community, working together to build a better future. As for Finn, he became a beloved figure in the village, known for his adventurous spirit and his role in bringing prosperity to Bramblewood. The silver key and the orb became symbols of hope and wisdom, reminding the villagers of the importance of curiosity, courage, and kindness. And so, Bramblewood thrived, bathed in the light of newfound knowledge and the magic of the Orb of Enlightenment. The castle in the forest became a beacon of inspiration, and Finn's tale was passed down through generations as a reminder that even the smallest of keys can unlock the greatest of treasures. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between rolling emerald hills and a vast, sparkling sea, there was a small, charming village known for its friendly people and their beautiful crafts. This village was unique because it was built right on the edge of the sea, where the waves kissed the shore and the salt air carried tales of adventure. In this village lived a young girl named Nia. Nia was known far and wide for her courage and curiosity. She had a special bond with the ocean, often spending her days exploring the tide pools and collecting seashells. But what fascinated her most were the stories about a magical artifact hidden deep beneath the sea, the Starfish Crown. Legend had it that the Starfish Crown was a wondrous treasure, said to be made of pure starlight and capable of granting a single, noble wish. Many had sought it, but none had succeeded. The crown was guarded by the mystical Sea Queen, a gentle yet formidable ruler of the underwater realm. One bright morning, Nia stood on the shore, gazing out at the shimmering sea. She had made up her mind to find the Starfish Crown and use it to wish for her village's prosperity. With a heart full of determination, she set out on a small boat she had built with her father's help. Nia sailed through the crystal waters, guided by the stories and maps she had gathered. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the waves, she reached a hidden cove. There, the water glowed with an ethereal light, signaling the entrance to the underwater realm. With a deep breath, Nia dove into the water. To her amazement, she found herself surrounded by a world of wonder. Brightly colored fish darted past, and coral reefs sparkled like precious gems. She followed a trail of glowing sea anemones until she arrived at the grand palace of the Sea Queen. The palace was an awe-inspiring sight, built from iridescent shells and pearls, and bathed in a soft, azure light. Nia was greeted by the Sea Queen herself, a majestic figure with flowing seaweed hair and eyes that shone like moonlit tides. "Welcome, brave Nia," the Sea Queen said in a voice like the soft crash of waves. "I have been expecting you. What brings you to my realm?" Nia took a deep breath and spoke with heartfelt sincerity. "Your Majesty, I seek the starfish crown to make a wish for my village. We are in need of prosperity and hope." The Sea Queen studied Nia with a thoughtful expression. "The starfish crown is not given lightly. It is a symbol of pure intention and selflessness. Before you may receive it, you must prove your heart's worth." The Sea Queen then set forth 3 tasks for Nia. 1. Restore the coral grove. A once vibrant coral grove had been damaged by a storm. Nia needed to help heal the corals and bring back their color and life. 2. Guide the lost sea turtles. A group of baby sea turtles had lost their way. Nia had to help them find their way back to the ocean currents where they belonged. 3. Sing the song of the sea. Nia had to sing a song that could calm the tempestuous waters and bring peace to the ocean's depths. Determined, Nia set to work. For the first task, she carefully replanted damaged corals, using gentle hands and soft words to encourage their recovery. For the second, she guided the baby sea turtles by swimming alongside them, ensuring they followed the right path through the currents. The final task was the most challenging. As she stood on a cliff overlooking the vast ocean, Nia sang with all her heart, her voice rising and falling like the waves. She sang of love, courage, and the deep bond between the sea and the land. Her song resonated with the very essence of the ocean, soothing its restlessness. The Sea Queen watched in admiration as the waters calmed and the ocean's beauty was restored. With a nod of approval, she presented Nia with the starfish crown, which sparkled with the light of countless stars. "You have proven your heart's worth, Nia," the Sea Queen said. "The starfish crown is yours. Use it wisely." Nia thanked the Sea Queen and returned to her village with the crown. As she held it up and made her wish, a soft glow enveloped the village. Fields flourished, fish swam abundantly in the nearby waters, and the villagers found joy and prosperity in their lives. Nia's courage and selflessness had brought the magic of the starfish crown to her people, and the village thrived like never before. From then on, Nia was celebrated not just as a brave adventurer but as a symbol of hope and kindness. And so, in a kingdom where the sea met the land, the story of Nia and the starfish crown became a cherished tale, reminding everyone that the truest magic lies in a heart that seeks to help others. Once upon a time, in the heart of the evergreen forest, there was a small, picturesque village called Willowbrook. The village was known for its vibrant flowers and the gentle babbling of crystal-clear streams. Despite its beauty, Willowbrook had a single sorrow: it was plagued by an endless silence. The once melodious songs of the birds and the cheerful chatter of its inhabitants had faded, leaving behind a hushed and lonely stillness. In the village lived a young girl named Lyra, who was known for her love of music. She would often sit by the edge of the forest with her violin, trying to coax a melody from its strings, but no matter how beautifully she played, the silence of the village remained unbroken. Lyra's greatest wish was to restore the music to her beloved home. One day, while exploring the forest in search of a new melody, Lyra stumbled upon an old, ornate music box half buried under a blanket of fallen leaves. It was decorated with intricate carvings of forest creatures and vines. Intrigued, Lyra carefully dusted off the music box and opened it. To her surprise, it began to play a soft, enchanting tune that seemed to shimmer with magic. The music was unlike anything Lyra had ever heard. It was soothing and captivating, like a lullaby sung by the forest itself. As the melody filled the air, Lyra noticed something remarkable. The birds began to sing, and the stream seemed to sparkle with renewed energy. It was as if the music box had awakened the very soul of the forest. Excited by this discovery, Lyra took the music box back to Willowbrook. She carefully placed it in the village square and wound it up, letting the magical tune fill the air. To the astonishment of the villagers, the music box's melody had an extraordinary effect. The once silent village began to hum with life and joy. The villagers danced and sang, their laughter echoing through the streets, as if the music had rekindled their spirits. But as the days went by, the magic of the music box started to wane. The melody grew faint, and the silence began to creep back into the village. Desperate to save the magic, Lyra returned to the forest, hoping to find answers. In the depths of the evergreen forest, Lyra followed the sound of the music box's fading tune. Her journey led her to a hidden glen where she found a wise, ancient oak tree. The tree had a face etched into its bark, and it spoke in a deep, gentle voice. "Welcome, Lyra," the tree said. "I see you seek to restore the magic of the music box." Lyra nodded, explaining how the music box had brought joy to Willowbrook but was now losing its magic. "Is there a way to save it?" she asked. The ancient oak tree replied, "The music box is enchanted, but its magic must be renewed. To do this, you must find the 3 forgotten melodies of the forest. Each melody represents a different aspect of nature: the song of the stars, the lullaby of the stream, and the hymn of the forest. Once you gather these melodies and play them for the music box, its magic will be restored." With newfound determination, Lyra set out to find the 3 melodies. Her journey took her to different parts of the forest, each filled with its own unique magic. First, she ventured to a high, starlit hill where she discovered the Song of the Stars, a celestial melody carried by the wind. Lyra listened carefully and captured the melody with her violin, letting the notes intertwine with the music box's tune. Next, she journeyed to a serene, babbling brook where she found the lullaby of the stream. The melody flowed with the gentle sounds of the water, and Lyra played her violin alongside the stream, weaving the lullaby into the music box. Finally, Lyra ventured into the heart of the forest, where she encountered the hymn of the forest. The hymn was a harmonious blend of rustling leaves and whispering winds. Lyra played her violin amidst the trees, letting the hymn fill the music box with its rich, earthy tones. With the 3 melodies combined, Lyra returned to Willowbrook. She placed the music box in the village square and played the renewed tune. The music box's melody, now vibrant and full of life, resonated through the village. The silence was banished, and Willowbrook was once again filled with the joyous sounds of nature and laughter. The villagers celebrated with a grand festival, their hearts lifted by the magical music that had been restored to their lives. Lyra was hailed as a hero for her bravery and determination. The music box remained a treasured symbol of the village's renewed joy, and Lyra continued to play her violin, sharing her melodies with the people she loved. From that day on, Willowbrook thrived in harmony with the enchanting music of the forest. The melodies of the Song of the Stars, the lullaby of the stream, and the hymn of the forest became a cherished part of their lives, reminding them of the magic that could be found in even the smallest of things. And so, the village lived happily ever after, forever touched by the music of the enchanted music box in the heart of a young girl who brought melody back to her home. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by rolling hills and serene lakes, lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra was known throughout the village for her kindness and curiosity. She loved to explore the nearby forests and meadows, always hoping to discover something magical. One sunny afternoon, while wandering through the forest, Lyra stumbled upon a hidden grove she had never seen before. In the center of the grove stood an ancient, ornate mirror framed in silver and gold. The mirror's surface was covered in a shimmering mist, and its frame was adorned with intricate carvings of mystical creatures and flowers. Lyra felt a strange pull towards the mirror and, despite her curiosity, hesitated for a moment before reaching out to touch it. As her fingers brushed the surface, the mist swirled and the mirror's reflection changed. Instead of Lyra's familiar face, she saw a glimpse of a grand, forgotten kingdom, bathed in golden light. The image was mesmerizing, a land of towering castles, lush gardens, and sparkling rivers. But the reflection was fleeting, and soon it faded, leaving only the misty surface behind. Determined to uncover the mystery of the mirror, Lyra decided to take it home. She carefully transported it back to her village, hiding it in her small attic. That night, as she lay in bed, she couldn't stop thinking about the mirror and the kingdom it had shown her. She had a feeling that there was something more to the mirror, something waiting to be discovered. The next morning, Lyra went to the village elder, a wise woman named Mélisse, to seek her advice. Mélisse had lived in the village for many years and knew a great deal about the history and legends of the land. When Lyra described the mirror and the vision she had seen, Mélisse's eyes widened in recognition. "Ah, the enchanted mirror," Mélisse said thoughtfully. "Legend has it that this mirror was once the gateway to a magical kingdom called Luminera. Luminera was a place of great beauty and wonder, but it vanished from the world long ago, leaving only tales and whispers behind. The mirror was said to hold the key to finding the kingdom and restoring it to its former glory." Lyra's heart raced with excitement. "Do you think it's possible to find Luminera?" she asked eagerly. Mélisse nodded. "It is said that to reach Luminera, one must undertake a quest to prove their bravery, wisdom, and kindness. The mirror will guide you, but you must be prepared for the challenges ahead." With newfound determination, Lyra set out on her quest. The mirror's surface began to glow softly, guiding her towards the enchanted forest. As she journeyed deeper into the forest, she encountered her first challenge, a wide, treacherous chasm with a narrow, wobbly bridge made of vines and branches. Standing at the edge of the chasm, Lyra felt a surge of fear. But then she remembered Mélisse's words and took a deep breath. She carefully stepped onto the bridge, focusing on her balance and studying her nerves. As she moved across, the bridge creaked and swayed. But Lyra's determination and calm heart guided her safely to the other side. Her next challenge came in the form of a dark, winding cave. Inside, she found herself face to face with a mischievous fairy named Trix. Trix was known for her trickery and riddles. "To pass through my cave," Trix said with a twinkle in her eye, "you must solve my riddle." Lyra listened carefully as Trix recited her riddle. "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lyra thought for a moment, recalling all the stories and puzzles she had heard in her village. "The answer is a joke," she said confidently. Trix clapped her tiny hands in delight. "You are correct. You may pass through the cave." As Lyra continued her journey, she encountered her final challenge, a vast, enchanted garden filled with vibrant, magical flowers. In the center of the garden was a majestic phoenix, perched atop a pedestal. The phoenix was covered in brilliant red and gold feathers, and its eyes shone with ancient wisdom. To enter the kingdom of Luminera, the phoenix spoke. "You must show your kindness by caring for the garden. Only then will the way be revealed." Lyra noticed that the garden was overgrown and some flowers were wilting. Without hesitation, she set to work, tending to each plant with care and love. She watered the flowers, pruned the branches, and nurtured the garden back to its former glory. The phoenix watched in approval, its eyes softening with each act of kindness. When the garden was restored, the phoenix flapped its wings and soared into the sky. A magical door appeared at the far end of the garden, bathed in a warm, golden light. The door creaked open, revealing a breathtaking land of sparkling rivers, lush forests, and magnificent castles. Lyra stepped through the door and found herself in the heart of Luminera. The kingdom was even more beautiful than she had imagined. The people of Luminera, who had been waiting for someone to restore their land, greeted her with joy and gratitude. They told her that the kingdom had faded from the world because its magic had been lost. But now, with Lyra's bravery, wisdom, and kindness, the kingdom was revived and its magic restored. The rulers of Luminera, a wise king and queen, honored Lyra with a golden crown and a place of honor in their court. They invited her to stay and become a part of their world, but Lyra knew her place was back in her village. Before she left, the king and queen gifted Lyra a small, enchanted locket that held a piece of Luminara's magic. The locket would allow her to visit the kingdom whenever she wished and keep its magic alive in her heart. With a heavy heart but a spirit full of joy, Lyra returned to her village. She shared her incredible adventure with everyone, and the village flourished with newfound hope and wonder. The enchanted mirror remained a cherished relic, a reminder of the bravery and kindness that had restored a lost kingdom. Lyra's adventures became legendary, and she continued to explore and discover new wonders, always carrying the magic of Luminara with her. She lived a life full of joy, knowing that even the smallest of hearts could accomplish great things. And so, Lyra and her village lived happily ever after, with the magic of Luminara shining brightly in their lives. The end. Once upon a time, in a hidden corner of the world, lay the forgotten kingdom of Astria. This kingdom was renowned for its dazzling beauty, with skies filled with twinkling stars, and fields that sparkled under the moonlight. At the heart of Astria was the Starflower Garden, where magical flowers bloomed only under the light of the stars, their petals glowing with celestial light. These starflowers were said to hold the power to grant wishes and bring prosperity to the kingdom. The guardian of the Starflower Garden was a gentle fairy named Leora. Leora was beloved by the people of Astria for her wisdom and her nurturing care of the magical flowers. However, one day, a great shadow fell over Astria. A wicked sorceress named Vesper, envious of the kingdom's light and beauty, cast a dark spell that caused the stars to vanish from the sky, plunging the kingdom into perpetual night. With the stars gone, the starflowers began to wilt, and the kingdom's once vibrant beauty faded into darkness. The people of Astria were filled with despair. And their once prosperous land was now a cold, dark shadow of its former self. It was then that a brave young girl named Elara stepped forward. Elara had grown up hearing stories of the Starflower Garden and had always dreamed of seeing its magic. Determined to save her kingdom, she vowed to find the missing stars and restore the light to Astria. Elara set off on her journey under the dim glow of the moon. Her first challenge came at the edge of the enchanted forest, a place where ancient trees whispered secrets and magical creatures roamed. The forest was now a place of eerie silence, the enchantment of old faded away. As Elara walked deeper into the forest, she encountered a wise old owl named Orion. To restore the stars, Orion said, you must pass through the Forest of Echoes. There, you will find 3 trials that test your heart and your spirit. Only by completing these trials will you be able to continue your quest. Elara nodded, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Orion guided her to the entrance of the Forest of Echoes, where the first trial awaited. The first trial, the trial of courage. In the Forest of Echoes, Elara faced a dark and winding path shrouded in mist. The air was thick with shadows, and eerie noises filled the silence. At the end of the path stood a grand archway guarded by a fearsome dragon named Draconis. The dragon's scales were as dark as the night, and his eyes glowed with a fierce light. To pass, Draconis rumbled, you must confront your deepest fear and prove your courage. Elara took a deep breath and stepped forward. She faced her fear of the unknown, her heart pounding as the shadows seemed to close in around her. But she reminded herself of her purpose and her love for her kingdom. With unwavering resolve, she walked through the archway, and the shadows parted to reveal the next challenge. The second trial, the trial of wisdom. The second trial brought Elara to a serene glade where a shimmering pool of water lay. The guardian of the pool, a graceful water nymph named Nereis, awaited her. To proceed, Nereis said, you must answer this riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? Elara thought deeply about the riddle. She listened to the rustling of the leaves and the whispering breeze. An echo, she answered. Nereis smiled and the pool's surface rippled, revealing a hidden path that led to the final trial. The third trial, the trial of compassion. The final trial led Elara to a moonlit meadow where a small, wounded unicorn named Luna lay. Luna's silver horn was dulled, and her once bright eyes were filled with pain. To lift the darkness, Luna spoke softly, "You must heal me with the light of your compassion. Only a heart filled with true kindness can restore my strength." Elara knelt beside Luna and gently tended to her wounds. She spoke soothing words and shared stories of her homeland, hoping to bring comfort. As she cared for Luna, her genuine compassion began to shine through, and the unicorn's strength returned. Luna's horn began to glow once more, and she rose to her feet with renewed vitality. "You have completed the trials with courage, wisdom, and compassion," Luna said. "Follow me, and I will guide you to the source of the darkness." Luna led Elara to a hidden cavern where Vesper, the wicked sorceress, was using the stolen stars to fuel her dark magic. The cavern was filled with a cold, unnatural light, and the stars were trapped in a swirling vortex of shadow. Elara approached Vesper with a steady heart. "Please, return the stars to their rightful place. The kingdom of Astria needs them to restore its light and beauty." Vesper's eyes flashed with anger, but as she looked at Elara, she saw the sincerity and bravery in her heart. The sorceress had been consumed by jealousy and darkness, but Elara's compassion reached her soul. With a heavy sigh, Vesper released the stars from their prison, and the celestial lights began to ascend back to the sky. As the stars returned, the night sky of Astria sparkled once more. And the starflowers in the garden began to bloom with their magical glow. The kingdom was bathed in a warm, golden light, and the darkness was lifted. Elara returned to Glimmerbrook as a hero, and the people celebrated her bravery and kindness. Vesper, her heart touched by the beauty of compassion, chose to leave behind her dark ways and seek a path of redemption. The Starflower Garden thrived again, and Astria was restored to its former glory. The story of Elara's quest and the trials she faced became a cherished legend, reminding everyone of the power of courage, wisdom, and compassion in the face of darkness. And so, the stars continued to shine brightly over the forgotten kingdom, a beacon of hope and a reminder of the light that can be found in even the darkest of times. In a small, picturesque village called Evergreen, nestled at the edge of a vast, enchanted forest, lived a curious boy named Finn. Finn was known throughout the village for his adventurous spirit and his love for discovering the unknown. His greatest dream was to find a magical artifact rumored to be hidden deep within the forest, a lantern said to grant the pure-hearted a single wish. One sunny morning, as Finn wandered through the village market, he overheard a conversation between two old storytellers. They spoke of the enchanted lantern, which had been lost for centuries. Legends claimed that whoever found it could make a wish to change their life forever. Finn's heart raced with excitement. He decided that he would be the one to find the lantern and make a wish for his village, which had been struggling with a long drought. The journey begins. Finn prepared for his journey with a sturdy backpack, a map of the forest, and a small compass. He also took along his faithful dog, Rusty, who was always by his side. With a determined spirit, Finn set off into the enchanted forest, the trees whispering ancient secrets as he walked. The forest was dense and mysterious, filled with towering trees, winding paths, and strange, glowing plants. As they ventured deeper, Finn and Rusty encountered a series of magical creatures. First, they met a talking squirrel named Nutty, who offered them a riddle to solve in exchange for guidance. "Answer me this," Nutty chattered. "I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter but not go outside. What am I?" Finn thought for a moment and replied, "A piano." Nutty nodded, pleased with the answer, and directed them to the path that would lead to the heart of the forest, where the lantern was said to be hidden. The guardian of the lantern, after hours of walking, they reached a clearing where a majestic oak tree stood. At its base was a large, ancient door covered in vines and intricate carvings. This was the entrance to the hidden realm where the enchanted lantern was kept. However, guarding the door was a formidable creature, a gentle giant named Bramble, who was entrusted with protecting the lantern from those unworthy. Bramble, though large and imposing, had a kind heart. He explained that to enter, Finn would have to prove his worthiness by showing courage, kindness, and wisdom. Bramble presented 3 challenges: a test of bravery, a test of kindness, and a test of wisdom. The 3 challenges: 1. The test of bravery * Bramble led Finn to a dark, eerie cave where a mystical creature known as the Shadow Beast lurked. Finn was to retrieve a magical flower from within the cave. With Rusty by his side, Finn bravely entered the cave, his heart pounding. The Shadow Beast, sensing his courage, revealed itself to be a misunderstood guardian rather than a foe. The beast was trapped and needed help. Finn, showing compassion, freed the beast from its magical chains, and in return, the beast led him to the flower. 2. The test of kindness * Next, Finn and Rusty came across a group of lost forest sprites who were hungry and tired. Instead of continuing on his quest, Finn used his provisions to feed and care for the sprites. Grateful, the sprites bestowed upon him a gift, a vial of stardust that would light the way through the darkest paths. 3. The test of wisdom * For the final test, Bramble presented Finn with a puzzle, a series of symbols that needed to be matched with their meanings. With Rusty's help and the Stardust Vial's guidance, Finn carefully solved the puzzle, revealing the correct answers. Having passed all 3 tests, Bramble was convinced of Finn's worthiness and allowed him to enter the Hidden Realm. The enchanted lantern inside the realm, the enchanted lantern glowed softly on a pedestal surrounded by shimmering mist. Finn approached the lantern and made his wish, to bring rain and restore prosperity to his village. The lantern's light brightened and a gentle rain began to fall outside the realm. With the lantern's magic, Finn and Rusty returned to Evergreen, where the rain continued to pour, quenching the parched earth. The village flourished once again, the crops grew, and the rivers flowed with fresh, clean water. The villagers celebrated Finn's bravery and kindness, and he was hailed as a hero. A lasting legacy. The enchanted lantern, having fulfilled its purpose, returned to its resting place in the Hidden Realm, waiting for the next worthy seeker. Finn's story became a cherished legend in Evergreen, reminding everyone of the power of courage, kindness, and wisdom. As for Finn, he continued to explore and adventure, always guided by the lessons he had learned. The village thrived under the blessing of the rain, and the memory of the enchanted lantern lived on in the hearts of all who heard the tale. And so, in the vibrant village of Evergreen, peace and prosperity reigned, thanks to the bravery and kindness of a young boy and his loyal dog. The end. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a forest unlike any other. This forest was known as the Whispering Forest, where the trees spoke in hushed tones, and the winds carried the secrets of the world. It was a place of mystery, where no one dared to enter for fear of being lost forever. In a small village at the edge of the forest, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known for her bravery and curiosity, always exploring the world around her with wide-eyed wonder. She had heard countless tales of the Whispering Forest, and while others shuddered at the thought of entering, Elara was fascinated. She often wondered what secrets the trees could tell, and what adventures might await those who dared to listen. One day, as Elara was gathering herbs in the meadow, she noticed something strange. The usually clear sky had turned a deep, swirling gray, and the wind had begun to howl through the village. The elders murmured in fear, saying that the forest was angry, and that something must be done to appease it. That night, as the village slept uneasily, Elara made a decision. She would venture into the Whispering Forest and find out what was causing the disturbance. Perhaps, she thought, the forest was not angry but in need of help. Gathering her courage, she set out at dawn, carrying nothing but a small lantern and her father's old cloak. As Elara entered the forest, she immediately felt the difference in the air. The trees were taller than any she had seen, their branches twisting high above like ancient hands reaching for the sky. The forest was dark, but her lantern cast a soft glow, revealing a narrow path that seemed to beckon her forward. The trees whispered as she passed, their voices like a chorus of sighs. Elara listened carefully, trying to make out the words, but they were too faint, like the rustling of leaves. She pressed on, determined to uncover the mystery of the forest. After walking for what felt like hours, Elara came to a clearing. In the center stood a massive tree, far larger and older than any other in the forest. Its bark was silver, and its leaves shimmered with an ethereal light. As Elara approached, the tree's whispers grew louder, and she could finally understand them. "Help us," the tree murmured, its voice deep and resonant. The heart of the forest is dying, and with it, our magic fades. Elara's heart ached at the tree's words. What can I do? She asked, her voice trembling. The tree's branches swayed gently, and a single silver leaf floated down to Elara's feet. Take this leaf to the heart of the forest, the tree said. Place it upon the ancient stone, and the forest will be renewed. Elara took the leaf carefully, its surface cool and smooth to the touch. Where is the heart of the forest? She asked. The tree's branches pointed to a hidden path at the edge of the clearing. Follow this path, and it will lead you there. But beware, for the path is guarded by shadows that seek to consume the light. Without hesitation, Elara thanked the tree and set off down the path. The forest grew darker as she walked, the trees closing in around her. The whispers became more frantic, as if warning her of the dangers ahead. But Elara was determined. She clutched the silver leaf tightly and pressed on. Soon, the shadows began to appear. They were formless, shifting figures that darted between the trees, their eyes glowing like embers. They whispered dark thoughts to Elara, trying to fill her with fear and doubt. But Elara remembered the silver tree's words, and she focused on the light of her lantern, letting it guide her forward. As she neared the heart of the forest, the shadows grew bolder, attempting to snuff out her lantern's light. Elara's heart raced, but she kept her gaze ahead, refusing to let the darkness overwhelm her. Finally, she reached a small glade bathed in a soft, golden light. In the center stood an ancient stone, cracked and worn with age. The shadows circled the glade, hissing and writhing, but they could not enter the light. Elara approached the stone and gently placed the silver leaf upon it. As soon as the leaf touched the stone, a brilliant light erupted from the ground, driving the shadows away. The stone began to heal, its cracks mending, and the forest around her came alive with vibrant color. The trees began to whisper joyfully, their voices like a melody. The heart of the forest had been restored, and with it, the magic of the whispering forest was renewed. Elara watched in awe as the forest transformed before her eyes. The trees glowed with an inner light, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. The shadows had vanished, replaced by the warmth of the forest's embrace. With her mission complete, Elara returned to the village. The storm had passed, and the villagers were amazed to see the forest glowing softly in the distance. They hailed Elara as a hero, grateful for her bravery and kindness. From that day on, the Whispering Forest was no longer feared but revered. Elara's tale was passed down through generations, a reminder that sometimes, the darkest places hold the brightest light. And whenever the wind whispered through the trees, the people of the village knew that the forest was at peace, its secret safe in the hands of the one who had listened. In a quaint village surrounded by rolling hills and lush forests, there was a meadow that shone with an ethereal glow every full moon. This meadow, known as the Moonlit Meadow, was said to be enchanted, with stories of magical creatures and hidden wonders. The most famous legend told of a hidden treasure buried deep within the meadow, which could only be found by someone pure of heart. The village's most beloved resident was a young girl named Mia. Mia was known for her kindness and her love of nature. She spent her days helping her neighbors and caring for the animals in the forest. Though she had heard the stories about the Moonlit Meadow, she never took them too seriously. That is, until one night, when her beloved grandmother fell ill. The village healer, an old woman named Elara, told Mia that only a rare flower called the starblossom could cure her grandmother. The starblossom was said to bloom only under the light of the full moon and was rumored to be hidden in the moonlit meadow. Determined to find the flower, Mia set out one evening as the moon began to rise. She walked through the forest, guided by the soft glow of the moonlight. As she reached the edge of the meadow, she was greeted by a magical sight. The grass sparkled as if dusted with stardust, and fireflies danced in the air, creating a twinkling light show. Mia stepped into the meadow, her heart full of hope and worry. As she ventured deeper, she noticed that the meadow seemed to change with every step she took. Paths appeared and vanished, and the flowers glowed brighter as she moved closer to the center. Suddenly, a soft voice echoed through the meadow. "Who dares to enter the moonlit meadow?" The voice belonged to a wise old owl perched on a branch of an ancient oak tree. The owl's eyes gleamed with a warm, golden light. "I am Mia," she said, "and I seek the star blossom to help my grandmother. Can you guide me?" The owl, named Orion, fluttered his wings thoughtfully. "Many have come seeking the star blossom, but few have succeeded. To find it, you must pass 3 trials. Only then will the path to the flower be revealed." Mia nodded, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The first trial was to cross a shimmering lake filled with mystical fog. Orion explained that the fog was enchanted to confuse travelers, making it difficult to find the way. To succeed, Mia needed to follow the light of the moon reflected on the water. As Mia stepped onto the lake, the fog began to swirl around her. She focused on the moonlight, which glowed brighter and steadier as she approached the center of the lake. Her determination and faith guided her, and she reached the other side safely. The second trial was a maze of towering hedges that seemed to shift and change. Orion told her that the maze was filled with illusions and deceptive paths. To navigate through, Mia needed to rely on her intuition and trust in her own heart. With patience and a clear mind, Mia made her way through the maze. She listened to the whispers of the wind and the rustling of the leaves, guiding her steps. After what felt like hours, she emerged from the maze, feeling a sense of accomplishment. The final trial was the most challenging. Mia had to climb a steep hill that led to a glowing, crystal cave. Inside the cave, there was a shimmering pool of water that held the final clue. The challenge was to retrieve a crystal from the bottom of the pool, but the water was enchanted to resist anyone who was not pure of heart. Mia took a deep breath and waded into the pool. As she reached the bottom, the water grew still and clear. She found the crystal and lifted it from the pool, feeling a sense of warmth and light envelop her. With the crystal in hand, Mia made her way back to the center of the meadow. There, the moonlight revealed a hidden grove, and in the center of the grove, bathed in silver light, was the star blossom. Its petals sparkled like stars, and its fragrance filled the air with a soothing aroma. Mia carefully picked the star blossom and thanked the moonlit meadow for its guidance. As she left the meadow, the magical creatures and the moonlight seemed to bid her farewell, their soft voices a gentle reminder of the enchantment she had experienced. Returning to her village, Mia presented the star blossom to Alara. The healer carefully prepared the remedy, and soon, Mia's grandmother began to recover. The village rejoiced, and Mia was hailed as a hero. The tale of Mia and the moonlit meadow became a cherished story in the village, reminding everyone of the magic that could be found in the world and the power of a pure heart. The moonlit meadow remained a place of wonder and beauty, a testament to the courage and kindness of a young girl who ventured into the magical forest to save the one she loved. And so, Mia continued to live her life with the same kindness and bravery, knowing that the magic of the moonlit meadow was always with her, guiding her on every step of her journey. The end. Passed through 3 trials set by the Gloomshade. The Moonlight Sorceress handed Alara a crystal vial filled with stardust, saying, "This stardust will guide you and protect you from the darkness." With renewed determination, Alara ventured towards the Cavern of Echoes. The journey was treacherous, with winding paths and ominous shadows, but the vial's stardust provided a comforting glow. The first trial was the Trial of Illusions. Alara entered a chamber filled with swirling mist that created deceptive images and voices. To pass, she had to see through the illusions and find the true path. Alara focused on her purpose and followed the light of the stardust, which led her through the mist and out of the chamber. The second trial was the Trial of Echoes. In a vast hall, the echoes of the cavern mimicked her own fears and doubts. Alara had to confront these echoes and stand firm in her resolve. She remembered her village's need for the lantern's light and focused on her love for her home, letting it drown out the echoes of fear. The final trial was the Trial of the Heart. In a dark chamber, the Gloomshade awaited, clutching the moonstone tightly. The Gloomshade challenged Alara to prove that her heart was pure and worthy. Alara spoke honestly of her desire to help her village and her belief in the lantern's magic. The Gloomshade, moved by her sincerity and bravery, relinquished the moonstone. With the moonstone in hand, Elara returned to Lumina. The moonlight sorceress appeared once more to bless the lantern. As she placed the moonstone into the lantern's core, its light blazed forth, brighter and warmer than ever before. The village was once again bathed in the lantern's comforting glow, and the night skies of Lumina sparkled with renewed brilliance. The villagers celebrated Elara's bravery and the return of the lantern's light. The tales of her quest and the moonlight sorceress's magic became a cherished part of the village's history. Elara's adventure was a reminder that courage, purity of heart, and determination could bring light even to the darkest of places. And so, in the kingdom of Lumina, where the stars danced brightly in the sky and the lantern's light illuminated every corner of the village, Elara's legacy lived on, inspiring future generations to seek out their own adventures and to never lose hope. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, there was a place known as the Moonlit Grove. This magical grove was hidden deep within the enchanted forest, a realm where the trees whispered secrets and moonlight wove through the leaves like silver threads. The Moonlit Grove was a sanctuary for magical creatures, and its heart was home to the Moonstone, a mystical gem that radiated gentle light and granted wishes to those with pure intentions. For generations, the Moonstone had been protected by the kind-hearted guardian, a graceful fairy named Elara. Under her care, the grove flourished, and the land around it thrived with enchantment and harmony. One day, as the sun set and the moon began to rise, a shadowy figure crept into the enchanted forest. This figure was Morwen, a cunning sorceress who had long coveted the Moonstone's power. Morwen had heard tales of its magic and sought to claim it for herself, intending to use it to spread darkness across the land. As the moonlight illuminated the grove, Morwen used her dark magic to cloak herself in invisibility and approach the Moonstone. Elara, sensing the intrusion, was determined to protect the sacred gem. She called upon her loyal friends for help: Cedric, a brave woodcutter with a heart of gold; Lyra, a clever and resourceful weaver; and Bramble, a mischievous but good-hearted squirrel. Together, they set out to uncover the sorceress's plan and thwart her intentions. The team ventured into the depths of the enchanted forest, guided by the soft glow of moonlight. They faced several challenges along the way: treacherous vines that tried to ensnare them, illusions that led them astray, and enchanted creatures who tested their resolve. Through it all, Cedric used his strength and courage to clear the path, Lyra's quick thinking solved puzzles and navigated traps, and Bramble's agility and sharp senses helped them avoid danger. At last, they reached the Moonlit Grove, where the Moonstone stood aglow. Morwen, still hidden by her spell, was in the process of casting a dark enchantment over the Moonstone to corrupt its magic. Elara confronted her, her voice trembling but resolute. "Morwen, your darkness will not prevail here," Elara declared. "The Moonstone is a beacon of hope and light. It will never be tainted by your evil." Morwen laughed, her voice echoing through the grove. "You are too late, Elara. The Moonstone's power will soon be mine, and with it, I shall bring eternal night to this land." With a wave of her hand, Morwen unleashed a wave of shadowy magic toward the Moonstone. Elara, Cedric, Lyra, and Bramble sprang into action. Cedric used his axe to deflect the dark magic, while Lyra weaved a protective barrier with enchanted threads she had spun. Bramble darted around, creating distractions and leading the magical creatures of the forest to join the fight. In the midst of the chaos, Lyra noticed that Morwen's cloak of invisibility was shimmering in the moonlight. "We must reveal her true form," Lyra shouted. With her weaving skills, she crafted a net of moonlight and tossed it towards the invisible sorceress. The net shimmered brightly, unveiling Morwen's form and weakening her dark enchantments. With Morwen now visible and vulnerable, Elara called upon the Moonstone's pure magic. The Moonstone, sensing the courage and unity of its protectors, responded with a radiant burst of light. The light enveloped Morwen, dispelling her dark magic and breaking her spell. Defeated, Morwen was forced to flee, vowing to return another day. The Moonstone's light continued to shine brightly, its magic restored and protected. The grove, once again bathed in moonlight, was safe and serene. Elara, Cedric, Lyra, and Bramble celebrated their victory, their hearts full of gratitude and joy. They knew that the moonlit grove would remain a place of peace and magic, thanks to their bravery and teamwork. As the moon rose high in the sky, the enchanted forest came alive with the sounds of celebration. The creatures of the forest danced and sang in honor of their heroes. And the moonlight glistened on the leaves, casting a warm and comforting glow over the land. Queen Seraphina, the ruler of the kingdom, came to the grove to express her thanks. She honored Elara and her friends with medals of valor and proclaimed them the official protectors of the moonlit grove. From that day on, the moonlit grove continued to be a place of wonder and enchantment, where the moonstone's magic brought hope and dreams to all who visited. Elara, Cedric, Lyra, and Bramble remained vigilant, always ready to defend the grove from any threat. And so, in the kingdom where moonlight wove through the trees and magic filled the air, the moonlit grove stood as a beacon of light and hope, forever protected by the courage of those who cherished its magic. The end. Once upon a time, in a tranquil valley surrounded by towering mountains and lush forests, lay the village of Bramblewood. The village was known for its vibrant meadows and peaceful streams, but it held a long-forgotten secret, a kingdom that had once thrived but had vanished under a mysterious enchantment. The only clue to this kingdom's existence was a legend about a moonlit crown, a magical artifact said to reveal the hidden kingdom's location when worn under the full moon. In Bramblewood lived a brave and compassionate girl named Lila. She had grown up hearing stories of the lost kingdom and dreamed of discovering its secrets. One evening, as the full moon cast its silvery glow over the village, Lila decided to embark on an adventure to find the moonlit crown and uncover the mystery of the lost kingdom. Lila ventured into the ancient forest that bordered Bramblewood, guided by the light of the moon and her determination. After hours of walking, she stumbled upon an old stone archway entwined with ivy. At the base of the archway was a small pedestal with a beautifully crafted crown resting upon it. The crown was adorned with moonstones that glowed softly in the moonlight. With a sense of awe and excitement, Lila carefully placed the crown upon her head. As she did, the archway shimmered and revealed a hidden path that led into the heart of the forest. She followed the path, which wound through enchanted groves and over sparkling streams, until she reached the entrance of a grand, hidden kingdom. The kingdom was bathed in the soft light of the full moon, and its buildings sparkled like stars. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blooming night flowers, and the sound of gentle music drifted through the streets. Lila marveled at the beauty of the kingdom, but it was clear that something was missing. The kingdom was eerily silent, as if its magic had been put to sleep. As Lila explored the kingdom, she came across a regal figure, a queen with a radiant presence, sitting on a majestic throne. The queen had a crown that matched the moonlit crown Lila wore, and her eyes held a mixture of sadness and hope. "Welcome, brave Lila," the queen said in a voice like a soft melody. "I am Queen Seraphina, the last ruler of this kingdom. Long ago, our kingdom was placed under a spell of eternal slumber to protect it from a great threat. Only someone with a pure heart and a courageous spirit can awaken us." Lila listened intently as Queen Seraphina continued, "To lift the enchantment and restore our kingdom, you must complete 3 tasks. Each task will test your bravery, kindness, and wisdom." Lila nodded and prepared for the challenge. Queen Seraphina gave her a small, ornate box with a moonstone in its center. "This box will help guide you on your journey. Task 1, the Forgotten Garden." The first task led Lila to the Forgotten Garden, a once beautiful area now overrun with weeds and brambles. The garden's magic had faded, and it was in desperate need of revival. Lila discovered that the garden could be restored by planting enchanted seeds and nurturing them with care. She found the seeds buried beneath the overgrown plants and began planting them in neat rows. With gentle hands, she watered the seeds with a special mixture of moonlight and dew provided by the box. As Lila worked, she sang soft, encouraging songs. Slowly, the garden began to bloom with vibrant flowers and lush greenery, bringing the garden back to life. Task 2, the Shattered Fountain. The second task brought Lila to a grand fountain in the center of the kingdom. The fountain's waters had dried up, and its once beautiful mosaic was cracked and broken. To restore the fountain, Lila needed to repair the mosaic and refill it with enchanted water. She found pieces of the mosaic scattered around and carefully reassembled them, using her keen eye and steady hands. Next, she used the moonstone's light to purify the water and fill the fountain. As the fountain's waters flowed once more, the mosaic gleamed with renewed beauty, and the fountain began to sing a soft, harmonious tune. Task 3, the Echoing Chamber. The final task led Lila to the Echoing Chamber, a grand hall with high, vaulted ceilings and walls covered in intricate carvings. The chamber was filled with an eerie silence, and its magic had been silenced by a spell of stillness. Lila discovered that the chamber's magic could be restored by solving a riddle inscribed on the wall. The riddle read, "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have nobody, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Lila thought carefully and realized that the answer was an echo. She spoke the answer aloud, and as she did, the chamber's walls began to hum with a gentle resonance. The echo grew louder and more harmonious, filling the chamber with a beautiful, melodic sound. With all tasks completed, the enchantment over the kingdom was lifted. The streets were filled with laughter and music, and the kingdom's magic returned in full splendor. Queen Seraphina thanked Lila for her bravery and kindness. "You have awakened our kingdom and restored its magic," the queen said. "As a token of our gratitude, we offer you a gift." Queen Seraphina presented Lila with a moonstone pendant. "This pendant will allow you to visit our kingdom whenever you wish and share its magic with the world." Lila returned to Bramblewood with the moonstone pendant and a heart full of wonder. She shared the story of her adventure and the magic of the lost kingdom with her village. The kingdom's enchantment spread beyond its borders, inspiring others to seek out their own adventures and embrace the magic within their hearts. And so, the tale of Lila and the Moonlit Crown became a beloved story in Bramblewood, a reminder that true magic is found in the courage, kindness, and wisdom of those who dare to dream and explore. The kingdom continued to shine brightly under the moonlight, forever grateful to the brave girl who had restored its forgotten wonder. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled high in the mountains, there lived a young princess named Elara. Unlike other princesses, Elara was not content with a life of luxury and grand banquets. She was curious, adventurous, and had a heart full of wonder. Her favorite time of day was dusk when the first stars began to twinkle in the evening sky. She loved to sit by her window, watching as the stars slowly filled the sky, dreaming of what lay beyond the mountains. One evening, as Elara gazed at the stars, she noticed something unusual. One star, larger and brighter than the others, seemed to be flickering in and out of sight. Intrigued, she leaned closer, and to her amazement, she saw a shimmering path of light leading from her window to the star. It was as if the star was calling to her, inviting her to follow. Without hesitation, Elara grabbed her cloak and slipped out of the castle. She followed the starlit path, which wound through the forest, across rivers, and up the steep slopes of the mountains. The path was narrow and treacherous, but Elara's curiosity and determination kept her moving forward. The further she went, the more the path seemed to glow, guiding her through the darkness. After hours of walking, Elara found herself standing at the edge of a vast, glistening lake. The water was so clear that it reflected the stars perfectly, making it seem as if the sky had fallen to earth. In the center of the lake was a small island, and on that island stood a grand tree with silver leaves that sparkled like diamonds. The large, flickering star was perched on one of its branches. Elara knew she had to reach the island, but there was no boat in sight. As she pondered how to cross the lake, a soft voice echoed in her mind, "Believe in the path, and it will guide you." Taking a deep breath, Elara stepped onto the water. To her astonishment, the water supported her weight, and a path of light appeared beneath her feet. She walked carefully across the lake, the starlit path guiding her to the island. As she reached the shore, she felt a sense of calm wash over her, as if she had entered a place of pure magic. The tree on the island was more magnificent up close, its branches stretching high into the sky. Elara approached the tree, and as she did, the star descended from its branch, hovering just above her head. "Princess Elara," the star spoke, its voice soft and melodic, "you have been chosen for a great task. There is a land far beyond these mountains that has fallen into darkness. the people there have lost their way and forgotten the beauty of the night sky. Only a heart as pure as yours can bring back the light." Elara listened intently as the star continued, "I will guide you to this land, but the journey will not be easy. You must find 3 lost stars that have been captured by the shadows. Only by restoring these stars to the sky can you save the land from eternal darkness." Without a moment's hesitation, Elara agreed to the task. The star then transformed into a small, glowing pendant and hung around her neck. "This pendant will light your way and protect you from the shadows," the star said. "Now, follow the path once more." As Elara set out on her journey, the starlit path reappeared, leading her away from the island and into the unknown. She traveled for days, through dense forests, over rocky cliffs, and across barren deserts. Along the way, she encountered creatures of the night, owls, foxes, and even a wise old wolf, all of whom offered their help and guidance. Finally, Elara reached the edge of a dark, desolate land where the sky was covered in thick clouds, blocking out all light. The air was heavy with sorrow, and the ground was cold and barren. This was the land the star had spoken of, a place where hope had been lost. Elara knew the first lost star was near, so she pressed on, her pendant glowing brighter with each step. She followed the light to a deep, shadowy cave. Inside the cave, the walls were lined with sharp rocks, and the air was filled with an eerie silence. At the far end of the cave, Elara saw a faint glimmer of light, the first lost star, trapped in a crystal cage. With determination, Elara approached the cage. As she reached out to touch it, the shadows in the cave came to life, swirling around her and whispering dark thoughts in her ear. But Elara's heart was strong, and she focused on the light of the pendant, which grew brighter and brighter until it drove the shadows away. The crystal cage shattered, and the first star was free. It rose into the air, shining brightly before shooting up into the sky. One by one, the clouds began to part, and the sky grew a little lighter. Elara continued her journey, finding the second star in a twisted forest and the third in the depths of a frozen lake. Each time, the shadows tried to stop her, but each time, her courage and the light of the pendant saw her through. With all 3 stars restored to the sky, the land began to heal. The sky cleared, and the stars shone brightly once more. The people of the land, who had lived in darkness for so long, emerged from their homes, filled with wonder at the sight of the night sky. Elara returned to the starlit lake, where the tree with silver leaves stood waiting for her. The pendant around her neck glowed one last time before transforming back into the star. It rose into the sky, taking its place among the others. "Thank you, Princess Elara," the star's voice echoed from above. "Because of your bravery, the light has returned to this land. You have done a great deed, and the stars will always remember you." Elara smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. The starlit path appeared once more, leading her back home to her kingdom. When she returned, she was greeted as a hero, and the tale of her journey was told far and wide. From that day on, whenever Elara looked at the night sky, she knew that she was never truly alone. The stars were her friends, and they would guide her wherever her heart desired. And so, Princess Elara lived a life full of adventure, always following the starlit path, knowing that it would lead her to new wonders and new dreams. The Whispering Glade. Once upon a time, in a land where emerald forests stretched as far as the eye could see, there was a hidden glade known as the Whispering Glade. This enchanted place was said to be protected by ancient magic, and only those with a pure heart could find it. Legends told that the glade held the secrets to healing and happiness. In the nearby village of Fernwood, there lived a gentle young woman named Eloan. Eloan was beloved in her village for her kindness and her gift for tending to the sick and injured. But lately, Fernwood had fallen under a dark cloud of sadness, as a mysterious illness had begun to affect the villagers, leaving them weak and weary. One evening, as Eloan sat by her window, she heard a soft, melodious whisper on the wind. The whispers seemed to call her name, urging her to seek the Whispering Glade. Determined to find a cure for her village, Eloan decided to follow the mysterious call. With a small satchel of supplies, bread, a flask of water, and a warm cloak, Eloan set out into the forest. The trees were tall and majestic, their leaves rustling with secrets. She followed a narrow path, which seemed to guide her deeper into the woods. The air grew cooler, and the forest became quieter, until only the sound of her footsteps could be heard. After hours of walking, Eloan stumbled upon a large, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Inside the hollow was a delicate, glowing flower. As she reached out to touch it, a gentle voice spoke from the tree. "Welcome, brave Eloan. To enter the Whispering Glade and find the cure for your village, you must complete 3 tasks. Each task will reveal a truth about yourself and your heart." Eloan nodded, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The first task led her to a clearing where a magical spring bubbled with crystal-clear water. Beside the spring lay a golden cup, and a riddle was inscribed on a nearby stone: "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Eloan thought deeply about the riddle and answered, "A map." The spring's waters sparkled with approval, and a hidden pathway appeared, leading her further into the forest. The second task brought Eloan to a grove where she found a group of small, enchanted creatures. They were trapped in a tangled web spun by a mischievous spider. The creatures pleaded for help, but they were fearful of the spider, which guarded the web fiercely. Without hesitation, Eloan carefully approached the spider, speaking to it with kindness. She explained how the creatures needed to be freed and promised to help the spider find a new home where it could spin its web in peace. Moved by her compassion, the spider agreed to let the creatures go. Eloan gently untangled the web and freed the creatures, who thanked her with joyous cheers. The grove's trees swayed with delight, and a new path opened up, leading Eloan closer to her goal. The final task was the most challenging. Eloan arrived at a tranquil meadow where a large stone stood with a keyhole. Beside it was a shimmering, golden key on a pedestal. The key was surrounded by a circle of stones, each bearing an inscription about the virtues of bravery, wisdom, and love. Eloan realized that to unlock the stone, she needed to show that she embodied these virtues. She closed her eyes and reflected on her journey. She had shown bravery in facing the unknown, wisdom in solving the riddle, and love in helping the enchanted creatures. With these virtues in her heart, Eloan approached the stone and gently inserted the key. The stone slid away to reveal a hidden passage leading to the Whispering Glade. As Eloan stepped into the glade, she was greeted by a breathtaking sight. The glade was filled with vibrant, healing herbs and flowers, their petals glowing softly in the moonlight. In the center of the glade was a pool of water, and beside it lay an ancient, silver bowl. The same gentle voice spoke again: "You have proven your heart's true worth. Use the herbs and flowers from this glade to heal your village." Eloan carefully gathered the herbs and flowers, filling her satchel with the precious ingredients. As she made her way back to Fernwood, she felt a sense of hope and purpose. Upon her return, Eloan prepared remedies from the glade's plants and distributed them among the villagers. The healing powers of the herbs worked swiftly, and soon, the village was revived with renewed strength and happiness. The villagers celebrated Eloan's bravery and kindness, and the Whispering Glade became a symbol of hope and healing in their hearts. Eloan's story was told for generations, a reminder of the magic that exists when one's heart is true and selfless. And so, the village of Fernwood thrived once more, blessed by the magic of the Whispering Glade and the courageous spirit of one remarkable woman. Once upon a time, in a lush and vibrant kingdom called Florenwood, there was a grand palace surrounded by blooming gardens and sparkling streams. Florenwood was known for its eternal spring, a time of perpetual bloom where every flower was in full bloom, and every breeze carried the scent of fresh blossoms. The source of this eternal spring was the Crown of Eternal Spring, a magical artifact that kept the land flourishing. The crown was kept in the royal palace, guarded by the wise Queen Amara. Queen Amara had a young daughter named Eloan, who loved to explore the gardens and dreamt of one day becoming a great leader like her mother. One day, while playing near the palace, Eloan found an old, hidden path that led to a secluded grove. In the center of the grove stood a large, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Inside the hollow, she discovered a dusty old scroll. The scroll revealed an old legend: when the crown of eternal spring is in danger, a hero with a pure heart must seek the 3 hidden relics to restore the crown's power and save the kingdom from the coming winter. Eloan showed the scroll to her mother. Queen Amara's face grew serious. The crown's magic is fading. If the power of the crown is not restored, our kingdom may face a harsh winter. You must find the 3 relics mentioned in the scroll. Determined to save her kingdom, Eloan embarked on her quest. The first relic was said to be the Crystal of Light, hidden in the Caves of Reflection, a place known for its dazzling yet treacherous pathways. Eloan journeyed through the forest and arrived at the entrance to the caves. Inside, the walls sparkled with countless reflections, making it difficult to find her way. Eloan remembered a riddle from the scroll: through the reflections, find the gleam, where light and shadows softly dream. Seek the crystal where the light is true, and the path to the first relic will come to you. As she navigated through the caves, Eloan followed the light that danced in the shadows. Finally, she found a hidden chamber where the Crystal of Light rested on a pedestal, glowing with a warm, radiant light. Eloan carefully took the crystal and continued her journey. The second relic was the Heart of the Forest, hidden in the enchanted glade. This magical place was guarded by the guardian spirits of the forest, who tested the worthiness of those who sought the relic. Eloan entered the glade, where she was greeted by a wise old fox who spoke in riddles. To find the heart of the forest, you must show your true self, said the fox. Only a heart full of kindness and bravery will reveal the relic. Eloan spent time helping the creatures of the glade, mending broken nests and tending to wounded animals. As she showed her genuine kindness and courage, the heart of the forest appeared before her, a glowing emerald that pulsed with the rhythm of the forest. With 2 relics secured, Eloan set out for the final part of her quest, the Waters of Serenity, said to be hidden in a hidden spring deep within the misty mountains. The spring was known for its healing properties and was said to hold the final relic, the Waters of Serenity. After a long and arduous journey, Eloan reached the spring. The water was crystal clear and shimmered with a calming blue light. To retrieve the Waters of Serenity, Eloan needed to answer a question posed by the spring's guardian, a majestic, ancient stag. The heart's true wish can be seen when darkness falls and the light is keen. To restore the balance, what must be done when shadows fall and the day is won? Eloan thought carefully and replied, the balance must be restored by ensuring that kindness and love remain, even when darkness threatens. The stag nodded in approval, and the Waters of Serenity appeared in a crystal vial. Eloan took the vial and began her journey back to the kingdom. As Eloan returned to Florinwood, the kingdom was indeed starting to feel the chill of impending winter. With the 3 relics in hand, she rushed to the palace and brought them to her mother. Queen Amara, with Eloan's help, combined the relics and placed them on the crown of eternal spring. As the relics touched the crown, a brilliant light filled the palace. The crown's magic was restored, and the eternal spring returned to Florinwood. The gardens bloomed once more, the stream sparkled, and the kingdom was saved from the harsh winter. The people of Florinwood celebrated Eloan's bravery and determination. Queen Amara praised her daughter for her courage and pure heart, and Eloan was recognized as a true heroine of the kingdom. The story of Eloan and the crown of eternal spring was passed down through generations, a reminder of the power of courage, kindness, and the importance of preserving the magic of one's land. And so, the tale of Eloan and the crown of eternal spring became a beloved legend, a testament to the magic of selflessness and the beauty of a heart that shines brightly, even in the face of adversity. Once upon a time, in a charming village nestled between rolling hills and shimmering lakes, there was a legend about the Moonlit Melody, a magical song that could bring peace and joy to anyone who heard it. This melody was said to be sung by the Moonlight Bird, a rare and beautiful creature that appeared only on the night of the full moon. In this village lived a young girl named Aisling, who was known for her love of music and her kind heart. Her greatest wish was to hear the Moonlit Melody, not for herself, but to bring joy to her sickly grandmother, who had lost her smile many moons ago. Every night, Aisling would sit by her grandmother's bedside and sing sweet lullabies, hoping that one day the Moonlight Bird would grant her wish. One evening, as the full moon began to rise, Aisling made a decision. she would venture into the Whispering Woods, where the Moonlight Bird was said to dwell. She packed a small satchel with a lantern, some bread, and a warm scarf, and set off under the starry sky. The Whispering Woods were known for their enchantments and mysterious creatures. As Aisling walked deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to whisper softly, guiding her path. She came across a clearing where the moonlight shone brightly, casting a magical glow on the surroundings. At the center of the clearing was an ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. A soft, melodious sound reached Aisling's ears, and she realized it was a song, a beautiful, haunting tune that seemed to be coming from within the hollow tree. Carefully, she approached and peeked inside. To her astonishment, she saw a tiny, radiant bird with feathers that sparkled like moonlight. It was the Moonlight Bird. The bird noticed Aisling and fluttered its wings in greeting. "Welcome, kind traveler," it said in a voice as soft as a breeze. "I have sensed your pure heart and your desire to bring joy to someone you love." Aisling, overjoyed, spoke earnestly, "I wish to hear your melody, not for myself, but to bring happiness to my grandmother, who is very ill. Her heart longs for a touch of magic to heal her spirit." The Moonlight Bird tilted its head, considering Aisling's request. "To grant this wish, you must prove the purity of your heart. In the heart of the forest lies a grove where 3 challenges await. Overcome them, and I shall share my melody with you." With determination in her eyes, Aisling agreed and followed the bird's instructions. Challenge 1: The Puzzle of the Crystal Stream. Aisling arrived at a stream with water so clear it seemed like liquid glass. On the opposite bank was a stone pedestal with a crystal puzzle that needed solving. The puzzle formed a pattern that had to be completed to create a bridge. Aisling examined the puzzle and realized it was a map of the constellations. Remembering stories her grandmother had told her about the stars, she carefully arranged the crystals according to the star patterns. As she completed the puzzle, the stream shimmered, forming a bridge that allowed her to cross safely. Challenge 2: The Riddle of the Whispering Trees. Next, Aisling reached a grove of trees that whispered riddles. To pass through, she needed to answer their questions correctly. The trees spoke in hushed voices, "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Aisling thought deeply and replied, "A map." The trees rustled in approval and parted to reveal the path to the final challenge. Challenge 3: The Heart of the Forest. In the heart of the forest stood a beautiful but silent garden. In the center was a flower with petals of pure silver. The flower was wilting, and its light had dimmed. To restore its beauty, Aisling needed to find and bring back the essence of joy. Aisling reflected on her happiest memories with her grandmother, times filled with laughter, love, and music. She sang softly to the flower, pouring her heart into the song. As she sang, the flower's petals began to shimmer and glow, restoring its vibrant light. With the final challenge complete, the Moonlight Bird appeared again, its feathers glowing brighter than ever. "You have shown great courage and love," the bird said. "Your heart is pure, and you have earned the moonlit melody." The Moonlight Bird sang its enchanting song, and the melody filled the air with a magical light. Aisling felt a warm glow inside her, and the song seemed to carry the essence of hope and happiness. She thanked the bird and hurried back to the village. When Aisling arrived home, she found her grandmother waiting anxiously. She gently placed the lantern near her grandmother's bedside and played the moonlit melody. The beautiful song filled the room, and her grandmother's eyes sparkled with joy. As the melody reached its final notes, Aisling's grandmother's strength was renewed. She smiled, her spirit uplifted by the magical song. The village celebrated the miracle, and Aisling's bravery became a cherished tale. From then on, the moonlit melody was a symbol of hope and love in the village, a reminder of the power of kindness and the magic that lies within a pure heart. And so, under the watchful gaze of the moon and the enchanting glow of the Moonlight Bird, the village of Glimmerbrook thrived in harmony, forever grateful for the girl who ventured into the Whispering Woods to bring joy to those she loved. Once upon a time, in a land where the sky was always painted with twinkling stars, there was a quiet village named Starbrook. The villagers lived simple but content lives, and they treasured the night sky, which was said to be a gateway to magical realms. The most cherished legend in Starbrook was about the Starlit Mirror, a magical mirror that reflected not only one's image but also their deepest desires and dreams. The mirror was said to be hidden in the Celestial Cavern, a mystical place located deep within the Twilight Forest. According to the legend, only someone with a pure heart and noble intentions could find the cavern and unlock the mirror's power. In Starbrook lived a kind-hearted girl named Leora. She was known for her generosity and her ability to brighten anyone's day with her warm smile. One day, Leora's younger brother, Finn, fell gravely ill. Despite the best efforts of the village healer, Finn's condition worsened. Desperate to save her brother, Leora decided to search for the Starlit Mirror, hoping it might reveal a way to heal Finn. Guided by her determination and a map passed down through generations, Leora set out on her quest. The path to the Celestial Cavern was fraught with challenges, but Leora's courage and kindness saw her through. As she journeyed into the Twilight Forest, she encountered a series of trials designed to test her spirit. Trial 1: The Bridge of Echoes. Leora arrived at a deep chasm with a fragile-looking bridge made of shimmering light. The bridge seemed to waver and shift with each step. The air was filled with haunting echoes that whispered doubts and fears. To cross the bridge, Leora had to confront her deepest fears and remain steadfast in her mission. She took a deep breath and began to walk, focusing on her love for her brother and her unwavering hope. As she walked, the echoes gradually quieted, and the bridge became steady, guiding her safely across. Trial 2: The Puzzle of the Stars. Next, Leora reached a clearing where the ground was covered in glowing star-shaped stones. At the center of the clearing was a pedestal with an intricate puzzle in the shape of a constellation. The puzzle needed to be solved to reveal the path forward. Leora carefully studied the constellation and began to arrange the stones according to the pattern. As she worked, she remembered the stories her grandmother told her about the stars and their meanings. Her understanding of the stars helped her solve the puzzle, and a hidden door slowly opened, revealing the next part of her journey. Trial 3: The Guardian of the Cavern. Leora finally reached the entrance of the Celestial Cavern, a majestic, glowing entrance guarded by a wise old dragon. The dragon's scales sparkled like the night sky, and its eyes were full of ancient wisdom. To enter the cavern, you must prove your worth, the dragon said. Tell me, what is the greatest treasure one can possess? Leora thought deeply about the question. She thought of all the treasures in her life and realized that the most valuable thing was not gold or jewels but love and compassion. The greatest treasure is a loving heart, Leora answered. The dragon's eyes softened, and it stepped aside, allowing Leora to enter the cavern. Inside the Celestial Cavern, the Starlit Mirror stood on a pedestal bathed in a soft, ethereal light. The mirror's surface shimmered with the light of countless stars. Leora approached the mirror and gazed into its depths. The mirror's surface began to swirl with colors, reflecting her deepest desire. The reflection showed not only Finn's condition but also a vision of hope and healing. The mirror revealed a hidden remedy, a rare flower that grew only in the highest peaks of the Enchanted Mountains, known for its extraordinary healing properties. With renewed determination, Leora set off for the Enchanted Mountains. After a challenging climb, she found the rare flower blooming amidst the snow. She carefully harvested the flower and made her way back to Starbrook. When Leora returned, she presented the flower to the village healer. The healer used the flower to prepare a potion, and Finn drank it with hope in his eyes. Slowly but surely, Finn's health began to improve, and he recovered fully. The villagers celebrated Leora's bravery and the magic of the Starlit Mirror. They rejoiced in the miracle of Finn's recovery and honored Leora for her unwavering love and courage. From then on, the legend of the Starlit Mirror became a cherished story in Starbrook. It was a reminder that true magic lies not in objects or spells, but in the love and compassion one holds in their heart. And so, under the watchful gaze of the stars and the gentle light of the Starlit Mirror, the village of Starbrook thrived in harmony and happiness, forever grateful for the girl who ventured into the unknown to bring hope and healing to those she loved.